Welcome, friends. So we've talked a lot about, Lightspeed bundles in general. I want to talk about how you can upgrade your current ones that you have, get them to a point where the teams that you're getting from them aren't just thrown together relic teams into some really, really like top-end teams for you. And so here's my 10 upgrades that are vitally important for your Lightspeed bundles. They're things that I'm working on right now and you should work on at some point in the future. So we'll bring you guys over, and so obviously we want to talk about where Rey and where Kylo will end up by the end of you farming things. So Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, this is his offensive team that basically is the best offensive team for him. So you have Wat Tambor to give tank tech to him, so he takes off his debuffs as well as gains 30% protection each turn. Then Armor will put 3 stacks of Beskar armor on him, making it so he gains more protection, has more defense, and also cannot be critically hit. And then you've got Night Sister Zombie, who's your tank, who will basically Supreme Leader Kylo Ren forces her to be tanking at all times. Because anytime she gains advantage, meaning anytime that Supreme Leader Kylo Ren uses his last ability, she taunts. And so even if she wouldn't taunt as much on a Night Sister team, she taunts more on this team. And then Old Daka to be able to get the Night Sister cheese going and have like a revive mechanic. It's just a really solid combo with those two to keep Night Sister Zombie continually reviving. And then if they somehow get to Daka, Daka has 2 chances to revive and come back because of Night Sister Zombie. So the idea is basically just to keep Supreme Leader Kylo Ren alive for as long as possible without pushing any turn meter into the team, because Supreme Leader Kylo Ren kills people off that gain turn meter. And so instead of having, your Hux and your First Order officers slowly die off because they're gaining turn meter, instead you got no turn meter here and you're just going to sit here and keep ramping. And so this allows you to take down JMK really easily. This is what can take down, I say easy. It makes it so you can actually kill JMK with Cat. You can take out Lord Vader no problem. This is the ultimate offensive team for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Especially now that we have Bane for Sith Eternal, this can fit here and kind of stay here for the most part. Then we have our Rey team. Our Rey team, you basically don't go with Resistance. In fact, I've seen people pull off JTR from this team as well. But this is kind of what I would suggest you push for, is Cal Kestis and Ben as your next 2 characters to fill out this team. So Rey, Jedi Training Rey, Cal Kestis, Ben Solo, L3. L3 is an amazing tank for this team, works really well. Cal keeps unaligned force users alive in this team, and you have 4 unaligned force users on this team with the 2 Reys, Ben and Cal Kestis. And so all of his stuff that works in his kit works for all 4 of those characters, and it's really, really nice. And then, of course, Ben Solo has that mechanic where if he dies, he's revived, and then if he's alive, Rey can't die. And so it just makes this team a nightmare on defense. So this is what you should be pushing for Rey and SLKR. Now we're going to push into some of the other teams, just to show you kind of the best version of the teams that you got. So Dash Rendar, you want his Omicron for this team to work really well. It's on his lead, it doesn't require a Zeta, but it makes it so whenever you lose Prepared, you regain Prepared. And then Vandor Chewbacca, whenever he's prepared and an ally dies, they are revived and he loses Prepared. But because Dash Rendar gives Prepared to anyone that loses it, he'll regain it again. And so on top of this just being really annoying to deal with, that you have to get past IG-11 to get to Vandor Chewbacca and kill Vandor Chewbacca first. On top of that, Enfys Nest, if they try to like Imperial Trooper this, Enfys Nest will just make it a timeout scenario where they can just never get through Enfys Nest because they gain too much turn meter. And so overall, fantastic team for timing out, fantastic team for getting holds. This would be kind of the Dash Rendar team that I would say upgrade to. There's a couple other compositions that can be better, but these are the easy to get ones that will benefit you the most right now versus like ones that are like, oh, get this newer character, or get these things that would be hard to get, because obviously you could put like Commander Ahsoka Tano in there and you'd be fine, but this is the ones that are easy to get. You can get them pretty dang easily. Just plug in those 2. Team's immediately so much better on defense. Next up, This is just one character that you need to get for this upgrade. All you need is Mon Mothma. So you just need to get Mon Mothma up. This is something I'm working on right now. You already have Biggs and Wedge. They aren't the best on the Mon Mothma team, but they are good on a Mon Mothma team. Plus you have Cara Dune and Kyle Katarn, which those two are pretty much the best on Mon Mothma. And so you can plug in other people for Biggs and Wedge down the road. Like, for instance, Hoth Rebel Scout is usually one, and then you can do, like, Pow or any of those Rebel fighters. Biston, those are all really common ones to throw in this team to make it really pop. But, like, Cara Dune and Kyle Katarn are the main engine of this team, and you already have them done. So you just need to drop a couple Zetas, get a Mon Mothma, and this team will be a powerhouse for you guys. It'll, you know, if you have this good enough, you should be able to time out a Wampa with it, too. If you're throwing it on defense. Cara Dune basically does that by herself. You have to be very careful with Cara Dune with her Zeta when it comes to a Wampa. Next up is your bounty hunters. You got a lot of bounty hunters out of Lightspeed bundles, but only a couple of them really are fantastic, and that's the three you see here, which is Boss, Grief Karga, and Mandalorian. The rest are great, but they're just not quite as banger. And so this is how you would upgrade this team just to make it absolutely pop. Aura Singh and Zam Wessel. Aura Singh makes it so that way if you have your speeds lined up, Bosk takes first turn, he taunts, gives everyone buffs, and her contract is just use an ability while buffed. And so then Bosk uses his taunt, gives everyone offense up. Grief takes next turn, he mass swarms, that is 5 right there because he used an ability, and then each person that assisted used an ability. So that's 5 towards your contract, and then Bosk takes his 100% turn meter from his frenzy and then uses his swarm, you immediately have contract. Mando takes a turn, you win. You kill whoever's the most annoying character on the opposite team. This can take down, if you have your speeds really dialed in, this can take down Gas. You can literally kill Gas before they take a turn, which causes you to basically make the whole team fall apart. Because if you disintegrate Gas, he's gone permanently. He doesn't get knocked down, he's gone permanently. You can also use this, if you're really dialed in, you can also use this to kill Cat on a JMK, and then you can clean it up with whatever. Other things that you can use this for is literally anything. Padme, I've taken Padme out with this. It has a 100% win rate on Night Sisters. It's just a great all-around team, and it's a great for a tactical 2-shot if you're like looking at a team like there's no way that I can beat this team. I have no way to beat this team. You can take this team in, throw it in against it, kill 1 or 2 of the most important people on the team, and then clean up with something else. It kills Adrad, like it's a fantastic team. Zam Wessel's Omicron just pumps so much turn meter into them, and then Aura Singh's fast contract is amazing. You can see here I've been using it at Gear 12 for months and months and months, and it's fantastic. I do plan on bringing them up to Relic level here soon, but even at Gear 12, these guys are going to be banger adding to this squad. Next up is kind of just your remnants from First Order. All this takes is getting yourself a TIE Pilot Omicron. The TIE Pilot Omicron adds an extra 100 speed, which makes it really hard to be taken out with just kind of anything. Because Hux, you have a fast Hux. He uses this, and basically everyone assists and just absolutely decimates someone off the bat. And so with the fact that his leadership ability deals extra damage on basic attacks, it's an insane opening play because you have like a, you know, even just like a 270 Hux. That First Order TIE Pilot Omicron makes him a 370 speed. That's going to be an explosive turn 1 play. You're going to have a pre-taunting tank with Kylo Ren unmasked. This can also be a really great offensive team. You can split your First Order much more now that you have Kylo Ren on his own. And so now you can have a Phasma team as well as a Hux team, or a Kylo Ren unmasked team and a Hux team. However you want to split those up, you can split them up very well. Looks like I have my ringer on. I apologize. So overall, just fantastic. But that First Order TIE Pilot Omicron is just on point for making this team really pop with Hux. This is also kind of the go-to for Sonostaros counters, but I mean, that's not really something anyone sees on defense much. This next one, this is going to take a lot of like pushing. This is not like one that I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be, you just get one character or two characters and you finish this team. But this is a team that you have two of the characters done, which is Vader and Talon, and you can use those as a solo anytime you need to. But dropping on Traya is easy to get nowadays. Savage is literally one of the easiest characters to get in the game. And then Nihilus is the only one that's going to be hard because he's a node farm. It's going to be an easy team just to get in general. You can see here I have a Nihilus at gear 12. I use this team to kill JML when I see him on defense. You can throw this on your own defense and it'll be a defensive powerhouse. You don't need the Talon Omicron, but you do need the Traya Omicron, and you definitely need the Savage Omicron. The Talon Omicron's 100% just, I had an extra Omicron and I threw it on. It's not necessary though. This team is absolutely disgusting, so don't sleep on it. I know it'll take a lot to get to, but none of them are Chirotech characters. You have the only Chirotech character, which is Darth Talon, meaning they have Chirotechs before gear 12. The rest of all of these don't have Chirotechs until you hit gear 12, so they're super easy to level up with your raid 1 currency, and you can just push them up very, very quickly. Even like a gear 12 Traya, Savage, Nihilus will make this team pop with that Traya Omicron and the Savage Omicron. So if you have Omicrons lying around, this is your team. Like this thing, literally every time I hear it talked about, it's like, oh yeah, I'm in Chromium, they're all at gear 12, and I get 4 holds every time. Like, this is a great team on offense, a great team on defense, and it's not that hard to get if you have the Omicrons. This next one is just kind of getting rid of your unaligned force user. Whoever your light side unaligned force user should be Visus Mar or Cal Kestis. Those are the two that fit in this team the best. You can throw a couple others in here, but they don't have nearly as much synergy. They're just inherently good, but they're also used for other teams. And so Visus Mar is who I suggest, just because I use Cal Kestis right now, but as soon as I get Ben and Cal Kestis are getting shifted to that Ray team to make an absolute banger defense team. And so Visus Mar will become my new unaligned force user. And so this slot is kind of the one that I would say needs something there that's good, because the rest of it, all of them are banger characters. Old Obi-Wan having a pre-taunting tank, having that tank get damage immunity, he's a great character for this team. But that other one, I mean, you put Stick Ray in there, she's not really doing anything for the team. Visus Mar at least revives characters, and her revive doesn't require a Zeta, which is huge. It's just an Omega ability. You don't even need to drop a Zeta on this character. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about some ones that we've talked about in the past. And so, a lot of you probably already have this stuff going, but obviously Captain Rex needs to be put with Phoenix. You have Phoenix sitting in your roster, your Phoenix are garbage. Because Phoenix is just not a good team nowadays. They redid the Phoenix team by giving them Captain Rex. Even a gear, 9, 3-star, not even with any Zetas, Captain Rex is going to make a better team than your Phoenix all relict. It's just how it is. You don't forget to mod these guys as well. Typically you want either Rex or Sabine faster, and then whichever one you don't make faster, make them just slightly slower than the fastest. But this team is amazing. It can take down Reva. It can, take down really whatever you want. If you get Rex to relics, there's a chance you can beat Lord Vader, although most things beat Lord Vader nowadays. I hate that they do, because I love Anakin and canon. But regardless, this team is great. It's absolutely amazing. It's great thing to throw on defense just to screw with people, because if they don't know what they're getting into walking into it, they can absolutely be decimated by this team. We got here, finally, my favorite of these upgrades, because it's just been so amazing. I mean, you can see here I have a Gear 9 4-star Zori, and I don't know if you guys have watched my videos of Rey's unlock event, but I had a 3-star Zori at Gear 9, and so it's been months since I got this character up to Gear 9 3-star, and I still haven't upgraded her. Is that telling you that she's not worth upgrading? Absolutely not. That is telling you that I am getting 4 holds in Kyber with a Gear 9 Zori. Like, it's stupid. This team is amazing. I highly suggest, so if you're making this team, the thing that makes it pop, that allows it to work, that is the Finn Zeta. The Finn Zeta is what gives them the turn meter train. And then Zori Zetas are secondary. So you want Zori Zetas next because they really make this team pop. And then if you can afford it, Zori's Omicron. The rest are just, if you ever have time with the Zetas, go for it. Like Rose Tico's Omicron and Zeta are going to be very helpful for the team as well. The Resistance heroes are also super nice to have those. But overall, this team will just pump out wins. If you just have Finn and Zori, Resistance Hero Finn is your one to make very fast. You can see here, I'll even open mine. I'm very proud of this guy. I am testing right now, so I am missing one mod, but it's a 26 speed mod. I have him at 349 typically, but anything over 300 is going to be super helpful for you. So absolutely banger team. But there's your 10 upgrades that you can do to make your Lightspeed bundles pop, so that way you're not just like leaving them where they are. You know, I know that there's always chasing the next thing and going after the next thing, but sometimes you're like, I really need a better defense, so you're going to make your Rey better. Or you're like, I need to be able to kill Lord Vader more consistently. Well, you're going to get your SLKR better. You're like looking at it and you're like, dang, I got these characters, they're not really doing much on defense. Well, let's grab ourselves a Mon Mothma, slap it in there, and all of a sudden you have a banger defensive team. You know, just a little bit of work, and you can have some of the like really, really good teams out of your Lightspeed bundles, but you do need to put in just a little bit of work. But hopefully this has helped you guys kind of get an idea of how to shift your farming plan to add these. Maybe throw in a couple of these projects after your next major project. I wouldn't say any of it is like insane to the point where you're like, oh, I need to go for that right now. But like, it's something to think about, something to be like, oh, you know, I've got a little bit of time between this farm and this farm while I'm farming shards. Well, let's get Armor, Zombie, and Daka up. Wat Tambor, I really don't need to get up, because all he needs to do is take his first turn with his Zeta, and we're good. And so, find a spot in your farming plan where you can just fit these in, and they will improve your Lightspeed bundles, and it'll make it so that way, you know, what little money you have spent on the game is not, you know, being wasted in any way, because you are taking the full, you know, the full advantage of the characters that you've gotten. If you like these types of videos, please do subscribe, throw a like as well. I really appreciate it. It helps my videos get out there to more people, so that way we can all enjoy our Lightspeed bundles and do as much as we can. And I will see you guys in the next video.